Retailing decisions. In this chapter, we're going to look at all the decisions that a retailer needs to make as far as a store is concerned. The primary decision that any retailer would take is basically where to locate my store. So the choice of retail location is of primordial importance. There are other things that also a retailer needs to look at. He needs to look at how to position his retail shop, how to build a store image, and how to measure the success of a location. What should be my service quality, and I should also look at how do I maintain my supply chain, and how do I build the internal and external atmospherics of the store. But the first thing that he has to decide is the choice of retail location. Where do I locate my store? Now, there are many places one can locate a store, but it can be the best store. You can have a great brand, but if you're not located in a place where you have the customer, I mean, you have like a bunch of customers coming, then you basically may not be able to make profit out of that store. So you need to have that competitive advantage. In retail management, okay, one of the prime things is location analysis or site selection. And we will be seeing further about what are the factors that go into selecting a particular location and what are the steps that you need to do when you choose a site location. But before we go into that, it is important for us to understand where what are different places I can locate my store. Some of the things I'm sure will come into your mind is I can locate it in a shopping mall, street, airports, theme parks, different places. But we'll just take a look at some of the locations because when we talk about factors that go into choosing a location, we need to first understand what is the location where a store can be located. Well, this is basically what I mentioned. What is the most important thing in retailing? It's nothing but location, location, and location. Choice of retail locations. Location basically provides a sustainable competitive advantage from a long-term perspective. Starbucks is an example. Generally, what Starbucks does, it locates a lot of coffee shops in close proximity to one another. It basically, I know that if I'm not basically entering one particular store, I still have an option to enter the other store. Uh, Competitors do not get space to locate their stores because they kind of occupy the entire space. It creates a barrier to entry of competitors. If you remember Porter's five forces, you might have studied this at some point in some of the one of the subjects. It kind of eliminates competitors totally. That's what Starbucks basically has that hold. As far as coffee is concerned, they are more like top one. We do not have Starbucks stores here, at least in Bangalore, but we do have it in some of the metros. Why is store location important for a retailer? It's a prime consideration. Basically, it's like kind of repeating what I said earlier. But they are also a risky decision. Look at the last point. Should I invest an entire money in building a store, or should I go for a rental, or should I go for a lease store? This is also a decision you need to take because if you build a store, you invest into it, and you not and that location which you selected turns out to be non-profit making, and you're losing a lot of money. So you need to take a decision. You need to do a lot of research, market research before going into setting up your store. So the types of locations, freestanding sites. Now this is for your understanding. You need to understand what different types of stores you can probably even think of right now, and because many things will come to your mind when you just look at a store outside. As I had mentioned before, retailing is not a very uh, um, tough subject. It's everything that you do on a daily basis. You go to stores, you know where stores are located. Freestanding site. What are the different types of freestanding sites? City or town locations, shopping centers, and other locations. Look at each one of this. Of course, selecting a particular location involves, we'll look at this further down, in fact, even in more detail, uh, something called trade area. We need to do something called a trade area analysis to find out whether this particular area is important to me or not. What is the cost of the location? What is the amount of pedestrian and vehicle traffic around that location? Is there any restrictions on that particular store? Uh, and what is the convenience of the location for the customer? At the end of the day, it has to be customer friendly. I would rather go and pick up certain groceries from my nearby Kirana store rather than travel. There are people who get into big stores like Big Bazaar and Spar. But what happens? The convenience factor moves on. The convenience factor in terms of picking up the items from a shelf is easier. But when it comes to a lot of people entering the store, and if I just want two or three items, I wouldn't enter a shopping mall. I wouldn't enter a big hypermarket because I have to wait in the queue as far as checkout is concerned. I can rather go to a small store, tell him what I need, and he will pack it for me. Much easier that way. So we need to have a trade-off between locations. Again, coming to the point that I mentioned earlier, should I go for a rent? If I'm having a store in a shopping mall, rents are high, but too much of rent also means if I pay a high rent, will it have a low traffic? If it's going to have a low traffic and paying a high rent, I'm not making any profit out of it. Okay. But if I'm paying high rent and the traffic also is similar to the rent that I'm paying and or more than that, it's kind of giving me a profit. So if it's low rent and high traffic, that's the best situation that I can get. So it's more like a seesaw between rent and traffic. You need to get the balance right. Uh, COVID time, malls were closed. Even when the mall opened up post COVID or post lockdown, not post COVID, they're still COVID is still there. But post lockdown, when the malls opened up, traffic is less, and rent is still the same. Malls rent is higher than setting up a store on the streets. This is what you say, red danger zone. Right now, they're not making so much profit as they would have made before. Unplanned retail locations. Freestanding site is nothing but a location for individual stores unconnected to other retailers. Basically, IKEA does this. They will set up a store where nobody else has a store. You just go to one corner location or a remote site and open up a store. Let's say a hair salon. In your entire area, there are no hair cutting salons. So you set up a hair cutting salon out there. There are no competitors. Everybody will come to your store itself. If they need to cut their hair, they come to your store. So it's more like gives you a competitive advantage. Number one, visibility. You are separated from the competition. Lesser restrictions, modest occupancy cost because you choose the best site, low cost site, nobody else beside you. It's convenient also. They don't. I mean, if it's in your village, you have a haircutting salon. Why would you go to the city? Or why do you travel like 3-4 kilometers to cut your hair? The disadvantage is you do not have the drawing power or foot traffic. Now, what I mean by this is it's not where a lot of people are located. Basically, have you ever noticed this? If there is a haircutting salon in one area, after a period of time, there will be more haircutting salons coming near that area. If you have one car wash set up in a particular area, which was never there in that area, suddenly you'll have 2 or 3 more car washes coming within the vicinity of that car wash for 1 kilometer. Why that happens is because people will come to cut their hair to a salon, but if it is crowded, what will they do? They'll look at the other salon which is beside that. So having a cluster set of stores it also gives you customers because there's a lot of traffic, foot traffic coming out there. But if you are alone, it will take you much. The only advantage you'll have is you're separated from competition and visibility is there, but you may not have foot traffic. City or town locations. Now, this is basically anything located in the city, like a corner shop. Uh, you're kind of having high pedestrian traffic and low occupancy costs. And you know that people who are in the cities are more like I pick up a example of our city, it's a Mango city. You know the kind of people that move around there. Or I'll have a salon there. I'll again take the example of a salon. Okay. The kind of store you will have set up there also is quite different than you will set up in a it's a place where it's a town, or basically if it's in a village, the there is a difference in terms of low value to high value, a transformation. Okay, and even your salon itself will change. You have probably your rates will increase. The amount of pricing that you charge also will be different. For a 60 rupees haircut, you probably charge 150 rupees for it, even more 300 rupees. And you will get people like that to pay because you have a very affluence class which will come to your store. CBD, Central Business District. Now, you look at the examples given in pictures there. Nariman Point in Mumbai is quite famous. Bandra Kurla Complex, which is also given here as an example. Just a minute. I'll give you an example from our area. We can call our central market, not central market, sorry, central market in Bangalore. Okay. KR market in Bangalore and central market here. This is more like a central business district. You have a lot of pedestrian traffic coming out here, and it's also a hub for public transportation where you have State Bank is close by, a lot of people coming to State Bank. I think draws people into areas doing business as well. A lot of people coming around, moving around this place. There's a lot of businesses happening around here. If you require, I mean, these points which we're talking about disadvantages may not apply to our central market. High security required, shoplifting, parking is for yes, parking is for that applies. In the central business district, we do not, if you're going to central market, you do not get places to park. Even if you park at a place which has no parking, you'll have the traffic policemen who will just confiscate your vehicle. Uh, the evenings and weekends are slow. This may not be the case with our central market. Yes, Sunday it is closed. But if you look at large CBD, CBD is basically a concept which has come out. If you go to our metros, you'll see the concept of CBDs. Everything is located around. A lot of companies, Bangalore has it. Bangalore has a lot of companies around in one particular area. So you know a lot of people are moving around in that area. A lot of IT professionals in that area. So setting up stores or setting up a good amount of setting up stores there is easier. So you know that there will be a lot of sales happening. And there's also residential area within a central business district because people will prefer to stay there because they work in a company which is close by. So that concept moves out from a city perspective, but I can use the same to apply to our central market here in Mangalore also, though it is at a very small scale. Main streets versus CBD. Now here we can have a street versus CBD comparison. The CBD is at a very large scale. And you need to pay more for a CBD because it's more posh. But if it's a main street, occupancy cost is lower. And beside the street, now let's look at street market. Anything that is, you may not have as many stores. Again, let me think of an example. Uh, let's say, let's look at some changes that's happening. Okay, Ambulkata right now is having some changes happening, construction happening around there. So people are having to move around from that place to a different place. So you would have had people beside the street having stores. You don't have that kind of entertainment. Like people who have the kind of money, they would people who go to a mall because there's entertainment out there. You can take the family around, you can take your kids around. So you get entertainment, food, along with some shopping. Which streets are something where it's only shops. You don't have anything else around there. It's only shops and shops and shops and shops around there. They don't attract as many people. I would basically agree to that point. Maybe this point is specific to a store abroad, a particular street abroad, but again, this will vary from location to location. And as I said, location decisions are not easy. You have to not just look at convenience, you have to also look at the amount of traffic that comes in there, occupancy cost, image of the store, a lot of things that go into how you position your store. Shopping centers, we all know about shopping malls. Forum Mall in Bangalore is going there as an example. You have parking, you have security, you have a lot of outdoor signages, a lot of advertising that happens in there. You can see what's happening. You can see what's happening, and then you can move in there. A lot of discounts will be actually displayed outside. You have special events in malls. You have some kind of event that's always happening. Diwali shopping. You have Eid shopping. You have Christmas shopping, which is going to come up now. It's the next thing that will come up, and you know that there'll be a Christmas tree somewhere in the mall. People come in there because of that. So you have people gathering, you have people gathering, you know that there's some amount of shopping also that's going to happen. Even though the rent is going to be high. This is just types of shopping centers for your knowledge, not really important to know. If you see, they are try to differentiate it based on the types that we studied in chapter 2, retail formats, category killer, home improvement, hypermarket, discount stores, and based on different it may not apply. In India, we don't have so many shopping malls. In metros, it might apply. But in our city, we only have Forum, we only have Bharat Mall, we have an old Empire Mall, and we have Siding Complex, we have Big Bazaar Mall, all of the Bharat Mall. But abroad, we have like a lot of malls. So they can categorize it into different subcategories and put, and each of them can be put under each subcategory. Okay, this is basically trying to differentiate between regional malls, super regional malls. They're just trying to differentiate. Not important for us right now. Advantage and disadvantage, I've already mentioned this. It's just stated in here. Yes, you just read this. Yes, never worry about the weather. That's a good point there. You can shop there even during the rainy seasons. You don't have to carry an umbrella. That's all to the okay, we'll move on. Disadvantages, yes, occupancy high, rentals are high, tenants may not like mall management, control operations. Yes, they'll have a specific business hours. So if a mall closed down, you have to shut your shop. If you have a separate freestanding site, you can close your shop anytime. Competition can be intense, yes, very intense. Outlet center, now this we do not have here in India, but this is one of the abroad examples which is given here. Um, there are a lot of parking spaces provided. They have space. So everything people just come in there, they know I can go to this particular outlet. More like a very when you look at from outside it doesn't look like a shop. It more looks like a nice designer house. But they put it that way. More like a specialty store. Theme festival centers, I would look at uh, we have this here, no, we do not have this here in I do not know if we have Delhi Heart, that's the only example given there. I have never been to that place. So one another time. That the other example is somewhere abroad. Larger multi-format developments, only centers. Again, as I mentioned, you can have classifications because abroad there are more number of centers. We may not be able to visualize this because we're not seeing so many different types of stores. The idea of me showing all of this is for you to understand that there are so many types of locations that one can have a store in, based on the area that you select, based on the city that you select, where you want to open your store. Other locations, airports, resorts, store within a store, temporary. Store within a store, I remember I explained the example to you about Timex watches. Let's say you enter a lifestyle shop or you enter, say, West End or sorry, not West End, West Side, and then you have a small Timex store there. The Timex is a separate store, so it's a store within a store. They will come to West Side to purchase clothes, and then you also have a small store there. So you can have a store within a store. They are attracting traffic. Use that traffic to pull your people. So you can instead of having a separate Timex store, a store within a store. Airports cost is high, but you have a lot of people moving around in airports. Resorts, different kind of crowd, very niche crowd, so you have a very niche kind of products that is being sold. Temporary pop-up stores. Pop-up stores are something which can come up anywhere during a particular festival. So it's a temporary store. I just set up a small store. You have, say, Karavali Utsav. Karavali Utsav is a small event, 3 day event or 1 week event. And so during the 1 week event, I can just go and sell my products in that store, make some profit and close it during the day. That's like a pop-up store. Store in the store, profit is given and they've given example, coffee bars, banks, clinics, media outlets, alternative locations, kiosk. Kiosk is something we see also. We see this a lot in malls, airports, small kiosk. Kiosk is one standard outlet. Like let's say Cafe Coffee Day. There's a kiosk of CCD within airport, and you just go and purchase there, and they'll give it to you for. And the selection menu also will be less. The number of items offered also will be less. Airports, nice way of putting it. Why wait with nothing to do? Rather than wait, you can just go and if you have 2 hour waiting period for or 3 hour waiting period for your next flight, you just go and purchase something. Of course, rents are high, so more number of space. Shopping behavior. Okay, based on consumers' behavior, also you will try to set up the location. For example, is convenient shopping. Uh, I remember telling you about 7-Eleven as an example when I spoke about retail formats. It's there in many places abroad. I remember going to one in Singapore. We don't have this. It's basically 24 by 7 every day. We can equate it to our Kirana store beside our house. Very convenient for us. If I want something, I can just move out, buy it from the small, more like petty angadi and good shops. So we just go in there and buy it. That's all I wanted to showcase in this video is for you to get an understanding that you can have so many locations. Just have a broad mindset on your mind right now. You think of it. That location can be anywhere. Think about it. Very practical thought process. It's all around you. In the next video, we look at factors that you need to choose while rather than the choice of location. What are the factors you consider and what are the steps to choose a particular location? I'll close down for this particular video and thank you so much.